Hello, it's that time of year and everybody wants to know how to make a bow. Bows are everywhere this time of year. Christmas trees, Christmas presents, everywhere in your hair, all over the place. And I had a specific question on how to make a bow using two different types of ribbon. So I have another video on how to make a 4-loop bow, and that's just a basic easy bow to learn. And this is the same principle, except instead of using one ribbon, we're going to use two, and then I'm going to show you how to do it with three. It's the same principle, you just layer ribbon on. All right, so we're going to start with our bottom ribbon, which is going to be this plain velvet. And then we're going to layer this check on top of it. And I don't cut my ribbon off the bolt, I just leave it on there. Okay, so I've got my two ribbons here, and I'm just layering them right on top of one another. And I'm going to make a bow just like I would if I only had one. My tail is about 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 inches. And we start with pinching. Okay, get a nice pinch, got our tail, and we're gonna make our first loop, and my loops are 6 to 7 inches long. And I'm just doing both of the ribbon together, layering them right together. And then pinch, holding that center firm, pinching it together, okay? And twisting to keep my right side up, because both of my ribbons that I've chosen today have a right and wrong side. This is the velvet side, and on the bottom it's just kind of flat. So I want to make sure I keep that pretty velvet side up. Holding that center tight, make another loop, same size. Let me see, I'll tell you exactly how big my loops are. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inch loops, okay? So 6 inch, here's my other loop. And I'm going to pinch it into that center. And I'm going to twist it really tight on that center and make another loop. All my loops are 6 inches, the same length. Okay. And there's that one. So I've got 3 nice size loops right now, which when I separate my ribbon, it's going to give me 6. So I'm going to stop right there, my tail, and I'm going to use floral wire to secure that center. So I have my floral wire here, and I have a good pair of sewing scissors, and I use some wire cutters so I don't dull my scissors blade. And I've got a piece of wire here that I am now going to just wrap around that center, holding it tight with my hand. This is probably the hardest part, just getting that wire around it, and you want it nice and tight, okay? All right, I just give it a couple of twists, and then you can see my ribbon is still on the bolt, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it from the bolt. And I want to keep my tails about the same, so I'm going to cut them about 7 inches. Well, that one's a little long, but I'll trim it out. Okay, and so at this point, I'm just going to go back, make sure my floral wire is nice and tight. And it is. Okay, so here now, oops. All right, give it another good twist. All right, here we go. Okay, now on your centers, you can use pipe cleaners, you can use zip ties, you can use whatever you want. I just happen to use floral wire. I do use all of them, just depending on what I have and what my project calls for. But there you go. The nice thing about using floral wire is now you've got these, I don't know if you can see the wire here. But you've got these nice long wire stems that you can now attach to stuff. So if you're doing this for your Christmas tree or something, you've got this wire, you can now attach it to the tree or your present or something like that. All right, moving that to the side. Now we're just gonna shape this bow out to give it form. Okay, so here's my tail. Here's this tail. I'm gonna trim this one down a little bit. I left it a little long. Okay, and I'm gonna cut my dovetails. Start at the outside wired edge when you dovetail and cut in at an angle, and it gives you this nice I call it dovetail. I heard somebody else call it a fishtail the other day. I'm like, fishtail. So again, you start out at the wired edge and you cut in towards the folded edge at a nice angle, and it gives you this nice dovetail. Okay, all right, so then all you do is shape your bow, and you come in and you separate out these loops. Pulling them apart. They're all wired edge ribbon, so it's pretty easy. I'm gonna hold it here in the center, really just shape it. And you can see now that we have 6 separate loops. And I'm gonna separate my tails as well. We got 4 tails now. Just take that and shape it. Get it how you want it. Takes just a little bit of work to get it just the way you want it, looking good. But there you can see. So now I've got a nice big bow, and I've used 2 different ribbons. Okay? Okay, so there's that one. Now, let's say we wanted to add a 3rd ribbon. Same thing, I'm gonna take it apart. We're just gonna add a 3rd ribbon. Okay, I'm just gonna take this all apart. I'm gonna show you again how to do it. So we start with our base ribbon, which is my plain velvet ribbon here. Flatten it all out. You can iron your ribbon too, you know. Get it nice and flat. If you've got old ribbon that you save and reuse from year to year, pull it out from your bins for Christmas. Just put an iron over the top of it and just iron it out before you use it again this year, and it's good as new. Okay, so here I have my 2. All right, and we're gonna layer on a 3rd. And I'm gonna use this pretty deer ribbon. So now you've got 3, okay? Now starting down here, all my tails, same thing. Pinch. Here's all 3 tails. The deer ribbon, the plaid, and the velvet, okay? All 3 tails. And we're gonna make our loops. Pinch that. Make your other loop. I'm just gonna go 2 this time because I wanna just show you the technique. Okay. So there's the 2. Oh heck, we'll do 3. Why not, right? Twist it. And let's do one more. Make it 3. Okay. Holding that center tight, I'm going to go ahead and cut my deer ribbon off from the bolt and set that aside. Okay. Here we go, holding that center nice and tight. Okay, so this time I'm going to use a zip tie just to show you. I'll use an orange one. You don't really see it. But the beauty of a zip tie is it saves your hands. You can really get things nice and tight without pulling and tugging. A lot of crafters use this. Okay, just make sure before you tighten it down, you get everything the way you want it. Because once you tighten it down, that's it. All right, now it looks about good, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it. Tighten that zip tie up. You can see it right there in the center right now. You won't see it in a minute. Okay, so I've got my tails sticking out. I've got my 3 loops that I just made. Okay, now let's cut the back of that zip tie off and just start separating our ribbon out. Here's our bottom, our second, and our third. See that? Get all that pretty ribbon separated out. Okay, and then you just kind of arrange that bow how it looks good to you. All 3 of these ribbons are 2.5 inch, and they are all wired edge. Very easy to work with. Okay, look at that beautiful big full bow. Okay, so now we've already dovetailed our bottom 2, so now we're just gonna dovetail this top one we added. Remember, starting from the outside wired edge, cutting at an angle inside, give you that nice dovetail. Let's do our other guy over here. Just gonna even him out and then dovetail him in. And there's that one. And separate all your tails. And we've got 6 tails here because we've used 3 ribbons. Look at that bow. Isn't that pretty? What it just took us a few minutes to do that. So once you learn that basic technique on pinching and making your loop, and pinching, making your loop, you can do all kinds of stuff. But here is a bow using 3 different ribbons, and the one before that we used 2 ribbons. And I have a different video where it's just the basic technique on how to use 1 ribbon and make a 4-loop bow. So check that out on my channel. Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please, it would make me very happy if you would subscribe and click that like button. And I will see you in the next video. Merry Christmas.